Welcome back to Thor, right here at Comicstorian, where we take some of your favorite comic books and break them down into digestible bites to tell you the storylines within or fill you in on those nitty-gritty details so that you can be the coolest kid at the comic book store. Today we're going to be covering Thor issues 4 through 6. Let me catch you up real quick on what's going on. Thor became the king of Asgard, and then Galactus showed up and told him that the ultimate villain, known as the Black Winter, was coming to destroy the entire universe. In order to have enough power to defeat the Black Winter, Galactus needed to eat 5 worlds in the galaxy, and Thor decided to become his new herald to usher in getting these worlds to safety so that Galactus can eat their power. When we last left off, Beta Ray Bill and Sif were standing in front of him, confused as to why he had sided with one of the Marvel Universe's greatest enemies. And that brings us to issue 4. Don't forget, we're also streaming Marvel's Avengers over at twitch.tv/comicstoriangaming, where I hope you come and have some fun with us and enjoy the gameplay. But let's go ahead and get into that comic book of yours. As the light fades, Sif is standing with her sword protecting Beta Ray Bill. Thor steps back, telling Sif that she must think very carefully how she's going to proceed. He is her king. There is only so much that he will tolerate from, but she scoffs, telling him, "You can save your breath. I'm not afraid of you because I'm not going to fight you. I'm here to take Bill back to Asgard under my protection." Thor yells, "That is enough! I will not take orders from you or anyone. Now stand aside or..." Sif stops him. Or what? Thor throws his hammer in a fit of rage, and as Sif lifts her sword, she slams it back down and the Bifrost appears, taking Mjolnir away. Thor asks where she sent his hammer, and Sif looks back at him and smiles. Meanwhile, in the frozen wastelands of Jotunheim, Loki sits on his throne, minding his own business when Mjolnir comes crashing down in his halls. He steps down, walking around asking, "What the hell is this? A trick? A trap? A test? After carefully considering it, he reaches down and grabs Mjolnir by the handle, lifting it up. Loki looks at it. Now that is very interesting. As he finishes his sentence, the hammer is yanked back out of his hands. Back with the others, Galactus towers over everyone, yelling that he is bored of their family squabbles. "If you are finished, I yet hunger, Thor." Thor turns to him. Now both of you go home." So Sif takes Bill into the Bifrost and Galactus asks, "Are you ready?" Thor tells him not yet. And then a massive bolt of lightning strikes down on Galactus and then races into Thor. The two stumble back and Galactus asks, "What? Your power? You took the power, Cosmic! How dare!" Thor stands back up as the Herald of Thunder, telling him, I am ready now." Soon Galactus would feed on the next 3 planets. And during this journey, he would find the island, a location many of you know, but if you want to know what I'm talking about, check out our other video. But while Thor was helping with these planets, he would take away the inhabitants, and as they reached the 5th planet, things were different. The people of Cryo know who Galactus is, and that if they stand and fight, they will. But before Thor can plead his case to bring them to safety, the sound of the murder machine spirals online and Galactus begins to feed. Thor rockets into the sky asking, "What are you doing? We haven't even..." But Galactus stops him, telling him, "Galactus needs no permission. We are out of time. The Black Winter is here." Thor looks back, thinking to the things that Galactus said about the Black Winter. To look into the Black Winter is to witness your own fate, to see the form of your true death. As with Galactus, it looks very much like Thor. But for the God of Thunder himself, he only sees the darkness of the Black Winter. Thor rips part of his cape off, tying it around his head, covering his eyes. And with what little time is left, he returns to the surface of Cryo, telling everyone that he is sorry. So very, very sorry. As Galactus finishes absorbing the planet, he states that it is done. "We must act quickly. The winter is here. Stay by my side and..." Thor tells him that he knows what must be done. And know this, when the winter is clear, he will answer for the people of Cryo, and for all of the lives that Galactus has stolen before it. The two look at the swirling black abyss, and Galactus realizes his current ally will be his enemy soon. "Until then, Within seconds, it happens. The winter speaks, and inside of its discordant howl, as its thunderous chill races down Thor's god spine. He hears something that he has never heard before, but he recognizes it immediately. The sound of the end. The last choking breath of the universe. The voice of the All-Death. The voice speaks. Thor, god of thunder, king of Asgard. Galactus struggles to free himself from the shadowy grip, calling out not to listen. But the winter calls him by name, Galen, and it tells him to be patient. The little god herald is intriguing. Thor the All-Butcher, the End God. Thor aimlessly swings, yelling, "You are mistaken! I have never worn such titles, and if it is an end you so crave." The winter blasts Thor with energy, forcing Thor to defend, and it asks him, "Do you wish to see your end?" Galactus shouts to the winter, "Stay out of my mind!" And Thor does all that he can to try and protect himself until finally the darkness creeps into his mind. He blinks and he finds himself no longer in space, but in some labyrinth. He yells out, calling for the Black Winter to show itself. And the winter says that they've asked a question. Would he like to see the truth? Thor shouts at the top of his lungs that there is no truth to be gained from one who speaks from shadows. "I am not afraid!" He is then struck from behind, and the winter tells him, "Good, because the end is not something to be afraid of, and I do not fear it myself." As Thor stands up, he sees the one who attacked, and it is Gorr, the God Butcher. Thor is stunned. He's in shock. This isn't possible. Gorr is dead. I killed him. But if I must kill him again. Thor is struck again, but this time with a spear at his back, and the sound of crackling laughter fills the halls. And Loki pulls back as Thor calls out, "In Odin's name and by his beard and ravens, it is my treacherous brother Loki. How could this be?" But Loki laughs. As Thor breaks the end of the spear sticking out of him and he swings, he is then slammed into the ground by a large claw. He gets up to see his foes of past and present standing before him, and the winter asks, "Don't you see it? This is the end. This is how you die, little god herald." Or perhaps it would be. The great Odin's son has many ends, doesn't he? The Beyonder, the Serpent, Ragnarok, Annihilus, burned, atomized, crucified, unmade, and then ultimately, what was supposed to be your true end, sacrificing yourself to bring the lightning to the darkness at the end of time. One-armed and one-eyed, back to back with your brother against the Butcher. Oh, but the winds have changed. Someone is killing your destiny, breaking your fate. Can you feel it? Do you see it? Do you want me to show you how it all ends, how it truly ends? God Herald, you have felt the change in the air since you ascended the throne, and the echoes of the thunder, and the weight of your hammer. Something is wrong, something is broken, Thor. But here, beaten and ragged in the eye of the final storm, the king of Asgard channels the ancient rage of the gods before him. And with a scream, he pleads with Mjolnir to help him push away the end one last time. It is known as the God Blast. And if the Black Winter truly cannot be stopped, if it cannot be killed, then Thor will die this day knowing that the storm will not soon forget the day that he made it bleed. As the darkness fades, Thor asks Galactus if he's still with him, and Galactus tells him, "Until it is done." Thor calls out to the winter, asking why it doesn't stop hiding and show itself. Show him his end. See if Odin's son blinks. Through the swirling black haze, a figure begins to emerge, and the Black Winter speaks once more with the face of Thor, stating that he will show him the end, but not Thor's, not yet. Thor asks if he saw it, and Galactus tells him, yes, it is. But the Winter then asks, that isn't the first time that we met, right? Why not tell Thor the truth, Galen? Tell him why you were the only one to survive the death of the previous universe. Thor holds Mjolnir, stating that he has had enough of this talk. He will not take this universe. Nothing dies today, Black Winter. The Winter begins to laugh, asking if that is what Galen told him. He is not here to consume their universe. Their world has darker fates than this. Thor then asks, why are you here, Black Winter? And the Winter says to reclaim what belongs to him. He is here. For him! The Winter points at Galactus, and he continues to state, I am here for the one that I spared. For Galen of Ta, for Galactus, my herald. Galactus blasts at the Black Winter, shouting that he lies, and the Winter lashes back, easily swatting Galactus away, telling him, I never lie. There was a promise made all those eons ago that if I spare you in turn, you will become my herald, Galactus. Galen, whatever you want to be called, for you are the one who lies, and now I have come to collect. As Galactus goes crashing into the moon, he gets back up, telling Thor, we have to act quickly, we must. But before he could finish, lightning strikes down onto Galactus, and Thor tells him, stand down. Galactus asks, you dare strike me? We are all that stands between the Black Winter and this universe. Thor tells him, wrong. It is I who will stand between you and the Winter. I am not done with you, not yet, Galactus. Galactus focuses his beams at Thor, and with a shiny blue light, Thor flies through it, telling him, I am the son of Odin, the king of Asgard, ruler of the 10 realms! And he redirects that power back, hitting Galactus, and Galactus looks at himself asking, what, my power? And Thor tells him, yes, I have taken it. I have taken the power Cosmic held in your shell before. And Galactus yells, no, the Winter, we must! But Thor stops him, telling him, I will deal with it. You will not survive the fight. I have no need of you, so save what little power you have left, if the Winter wants you. Galactus shouts, he will destroy! But before he could finish, Galactus is hit with another series of lightning bolts, and Thor finishes his previous statement before being so rudely interrupted. If the Winter wants you, then it will have you. As all the power is taken in, Thor becomes light itself, glowing with a brilliant radiance. He holds out Mjolnir, Galen of Ta, on behalf of the countless planets that you have destroyed and laid buried in your wake. For Acropia, for Misakron, for Eleanor 143, for Cryo, for Corbin, for Zenla, for Earth, for Asgard, I sentence you to death! Thor throws his hammer into the chest of Galactus with such force that it shatters his very existence. Galactus falls to his knees, withering and decaying, stating, you have no idea what you've done, Odin's son. The Winter laughs, you have my gratitude. And the Black Winter grows in size, telling him, if you wish to fight, I will doom this universe. Galactus is of no use to you. Thor tells him, nay, Galactus serves me yet. And the Winter asks, how? As a trophy, a slave? Tell me. Thor begins to channel all of the power that he just received, and he states, a bomb. In a flash, there was lightning, and burning inside of it all the full might of the immeasurable power cosmic. The bleeding life force of the universal constant, the energy of 100,000 devoured worlds, all of it unleashed by a god-made king. There is a universe shaking, boom! And in its wake, a crater containing the armor of Galactus. Thor looks up and sees the last remaining bit of the Black Winter floating like a snowflake. And the Winter tells him, you have won nothing. Your end, it cannot be stopped. It is coming before I am no more. Do you want to see how you will die? Thor takes the snowflake and crushes it. Yes. Later, back at Asgard, with a newly minted Galactus helm walkway, Silver Surfer says that a part of him feels mournful for Galen, to know that his journey began such as his. Thor tells him that he will spare no tears for one of his kind. What is done is done. Before leaving, Silver Surfer says that there's one thing he must ask. When the Black Winter showed him his true end, what did it show? What did he see? Thor's eyes widen as he thinks back, and all he can see is an army of every hero that he could think of, dead, all following behind their leader, Thanos, wielding Mjolnir, with all of the Infinity Stones attached to it. Thor looks away, stating, darkness. All I saw was darkness and nothing more. And that concludes the storyline, Thor, Herald of Lightning. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun to come back to Thor. I really do like Thor. I'm not going to lie, though. It's hard for me to read Thor. I am a speed reader. I traditionally can get through about 20 to 30 comic books, generally in about an hour to 2 hours. But the downside of that is I don't get to appreciate the art. And the other downside of that is when they do funky text, like they like to do with Thor, I can't read it. So whenever we do a Thor storyline, I actually have to sit down and just kind of chill out and enjoy a Thor book. So I really enjoy Thor, but I don't get as much time with those as I would like. Either way, I had to read this story to you guys. It's amazing. It's incredible. And with Marvel's Avengers finally rolling out, a lot of those Avengers stories you've been asking for, I'm finally able to do them. That's how YouTube works, guys. I gotta do them when there's something related to them. So if you want me to continue Thor, give this video a like. Let me know you want more Thor. And don't forget, we are caught all the way up on Thor at this point. So if you want to know what happens next, you're going to have to go to your local comic book store, and you're going to have to go to the digital comics, and you're going to have to buy Thor issue 7 to continue this storyline. I'll give you a link to buying it down below, but that's how you're going to continue the story. Once we get another 2 to 3 issues and makes a full video the way I'd like it, that's when we're going to come back. And the only way you're going to know that is if you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. It'll probably be in about a month or two, so you don't want to forget that we exist. Or you do because you didn't like this. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to sign up for YouTube memberships to show us a little bit more support if you really, really do enjoy what we're doing here. And just watching this video, I want to thank you so much for that support. Either way, guys, I will see you next time right here. And don't forget to go check us out on twitch.tv/Comicstorian Gaming and at YouTube at Comicstorian Gaming. Thank you.